Hey everybody, clearing. All right, this is going to be a divine masculine check-in, and we're going to get into what are the energetic shifts happening and what's that going to look like in the physical. But first off, let's do how are they thinking and feeling. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the counterparts that join me here. These for the divine masculines who, what I heard on the pre-shuffle was, who are preparing for union, who are getting ready to come forward. So that's up for you each watching this and masculines to know if that is your scenario. It's not going to be for everybody, but this reading is for those who are on that. Oh yeah, throw me a rope. What can we see for the divine masculines that are preparing for union? What's going on consciously in their heart space? What are they wishing to manifest next? What actions are they taking? What is their biggest challenge at this point? Biggest solution or best solution for that challenge? And energies in the near future. Okay, here we go. Conscious mind about the connections. The Wheel of Fortune and the King of Swords in the inverse. So they don't even know what their next step will be because they're paying attention to this higher guidance, the divine timing. So my guess is, your guess is as good as mine, I just heard them say. So let's get more. Seal of love, seal of Venus, elemental magic, self-love, and protection. 2 parts. So these masculines are protecting themselves from something right now, and that can be the karmic exodus. So whatever they are leaving behind, whatever they're settling, that is none of your business, divine feminines. There is some degree of protecting themselves emotionally, mentally, and physically from, I heard the shrapnel. So things could have gone down on their side of the energy. And if not externally, then internally. It feels as though they are conserving energy right now. What's going to be happening in the near future? Yeah, so even though they know that you are obviously there, there's taking care of the material realm, finances. There is a snake here. This can be learning to shed a snake's skin. This is the year of the snake as well. So they may have some goals, financial goals that they are, I heard nest egg, that they're trying to establish first. The King of Swords can be legal, financial matters as well. And so another message can be that they have had certain goals to establish themselves before coming forward to you, divine feminine. They want to protect your future by having enough to offer. So it does feel, though, that they have to take care of something with regard to some other arrangement that they have somehow before they can establish and secure the path forward for the two of you. What can we see for the conscious mind about the feminine? 8 of Swords and the Hierophant. Okay, so they are getting higher guidance in how to free their mind from any of the overthinking or misguided thinking. So they are thinking about you a lot, but they're changing those thoughts to productive thoughts, not limiting thoughts. We all can project those limitations, especially onto the person that we hold in the highest regard. And so it looks like these masculines are in a deep contemplation with higher guidance, taking themselves out of the fear regarding you, feminines, and divinity, honor, responsibility, and humility. Yeah, when we're all up in our thoughts and we're creating stories, that is ego. That is unrealistic fear or fear based on past experiences, projections. When we listen to the divine, the higher guidance, we remember our divinity instead of the filter of the fear. And this is our responsibility to keep up on that. It's like energetic housekeeping. So these masculines are coming into humility, not believing the fear, and keeping up with their energetic hygiene about you and this connection. So this shows me that there might be a period of, you know, where they have to focus on other things or feel they have to focus on other things. A period of uncertainty in your connection. And the Hermit. So it does look like a little bit more of a hermit mode. I find it fascinating. We've got the snake now unraveled. So it feels like they're unhooking from whatever this previous financial arrangement or situation was. And then more onto the loyal path with you, feminines, and this star path of destiny. What can we see on the heart space for the feminines? Wow, the Hermit there again, Lord of Prudence. So this is the hard work. It feels like they are buckling down to jump timelines, and they are heavily focused on a higher timeline, the star path of destiny. So not just the mundane world. So if you're not hearing much from your masculines right now, they are putting this time to good use to come out of certain contracts and arrangements and switch course into something that's more aligned for their higher timelines, for your higher timelines. They're putting in the work. What can we see for the energy? Light body expansion, illuminated presence. So because they're not so heavily focused on the external, this is causing them a glow up. So your masculines are going through a glow up. And this is the key to removing this imposter syndrome, the uncertainty, the projections. These swords all represent the things we tell ourselves that hurt our heart. And they are actively taking these daggers out of their own heart and therefore your connection, because they're aligning with their truth. They're letting go of things that no longer serve. They're tapping into their higher timelines. And in many ways, they're doing this to remove the fear so they can come forward to you. What can we see on the Heart of Hearts for Divine Feminine? Oh, King of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. So 10 of Pentacles came out in the inverse. So it's very much the design phase of this long-term plan. So these masculines are the types that would get it all sorted before offering. And they are working on it. They've got so much love fueling this patient development of a foundation, so they can bring you in on this and love you the right way, I heard. Okay, energetically, spectrum generator, reprogramming, transmutation, and stabilization. They are setting this foundation, just as they have been for months, I just heard. Oh, and the King of Pentacles. So we've got commitment here. I love this King of Pentacles because it is overcoming the bull, the ego here, pacifying that bull and having enough to silence that bull. The stubborn pride, the conflict, the contrasts, they're being silenced by these masculines coming into their mastery. So the emotion that they have for you has been funneled, channeled into this process of creating a foundation behind the scenes for you, feminines, so that when they bring you in on it, it's ripe, it's ready. What can we see for what the masculines are wishing? Wow, okay, Knight of Swords and Union. They are they're keeping quiet about their plans for union here. Both of these cards, communication and 1111 union, in the inverse. So it's on the down low. They are keeping quiet about their plans. They don't want anyone to jinx it, I just heard. And they don't want to get your hopes up in case things are not as smooth sailing as they hope. They would rather surprise you than over promise and under deliver. What can we see energetically? Spiritual strength, virtue, and valor. So what this is doing to them is giving them the opportunity to really do things for their own development, between them and the divine, as we saw with the high priest. This is not for your approval. They are causing themselves to lay this foundation and trust that if you are in fact their divine counterpart, you will align when the time is right, when they are free and clear to pursue, when their hearts have come through this process. They do feel like you are likely the one that will be there, but they're doing this more for their own embodiment of what they feel they've been guided to do on Most High. What is the near future? Okay, the Tower in the inverse. This is a deep internal change of paradigm. I'm actually going to clarify that. What can we see for this internal tower for the masculines? The spiritual strength, virtue, and valor. Okay, emotionality. So there is something that, you know, eventually the dam has to break. We saw the King of Cups as this self-contained, huge amount of emotion fueling this level up, this glow up for the masculines. It does feel like they are getting to a point where it's going to dawn on them why they've been so self-directed. It's like their emotions. This feels like the moment they realize they've made it, the moment they realize they don't have to persevere alone anymore. So this can be in the form of news. I'm feeling that it's not a moment too soon with their own readiness, and then something that they hear or something that is shared about you, feminines. It's like it aligns perfectly and causes this release of pent-up emotion. It's like the reward, the payoff. Their diligence is met with a real world confirmation, and it really seals the deal, is what I'm hearing. Confirms who you are to them by way of your timelines aligning. There's something about divine timing here. Didn't we get that the very first card? So they don't even know, but it's like they are persevering towards what they feel they've been guided to do, and everybody in these dynamics are waiting to be free and clear to pursue in some way, whatever that karma, whatever that processing is. Each of us has our plight, our path of overcoming, and it feels like counterparts getting to the top of the mountain at the same time and seeing each other coming from each side of the trail. So yeah, it's like they are just buckled down doing what's needed, and they're going to get a confirmation that it was all worth it. Very interesting. What can we see for the action these masculines are taking? Yeah, exactly. They are getting right with God. This card of victory, the Six of Wands, can be about reputation, public knowledge of things. It can be somebody influencing others and gaining acclaim or reputation. They are buckling down and doing things because it feels good and right and true. Bit by bit, this internal driver is causing them, instead of fame and fortune and popularity contest, people pleasing, this is the internal experience of aligning with righteousness, doing the right thing when nobody but God is watching, and Lord of harmonious change. So these masculines have been systematically removing themselves from less than righteous habits, friend groups, actions, strategies, tactics, games. Bit by bit, they are seeing themselves become more aligned. What is the energetic? bioluminescence, self-illumination, and simplicity. Yeah, when they're not spreading their energy too thin and looking for it externally, this is that glow up, the cellular light that emanates the truth. It's like, oh, it's like the bell tone. And we get, this is actually the secret to letting go of their heart walls and opening up to an increase of abundance when they find it within themselves, because they are worthy, because they are allowing themselves to act that way. I mean, everyone's worthy, but not everyone acts that way. So these masculines have begun bit by bit acting that way, living that Tao, allowing themselves to make the righteous choices. And this is actually what's causing them to drop their heart wall, because they're coming into innate safety. What can we see as the biggest challenge? The progress and, wow, the Hermit again. Just meditating on what true progress would be. Wow, and now we get the snake in this card, and the Hermit is like hand feeding the snake. So focusing on nurturing alignment, the snake can represent the Kundalini or the spine, and if we're focused on it, giving it nurture, that means we are actively creating paths of progress, paths of alignment. So these masculines are taking matters into their own hands to create a more aligned self, discipline, consciousness, awareness. What can we see next? Spiritual sovereignty. Yeah, so they're no longer carrying other people's karma, no longer putting their karma onto others. You know, in many ways, in the beginning of these connections, feminines, there may have been habits where the feminine tries to carry too much of the masculine's karma by being their moral code, by trying to preach or teach the masculine. Giving space and holding the love allows the individual to come into their own reverence of righteousness for their own reasons. And that's what I see happening here. What can we see for the, oh, did we get that card already? Sorry guys, just a sec. 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, yep. And Chariot. So this is actually what moves it forward. That's beautiful. So when these masculines shift their paradigm, shift their mindset to their own accountability and responsibility, that's where they can walk forward in partnership here, where it's not one or the other being giving or overgiving or taking that imbalance. What can we see for the solution to this challenge? The Emperor and Princess of Cups. So surrendering to acting that way, to being in alignment, to doing the right thing. This is a discipline. You know, many times when we're faced with this decisions, we think, oh, why bother? Nobody's looking. I don't need to. I'm in a funk. I'm just gonna da-da-da. We all have those moments and those things, but we're only as good as those weak moments. So these masculines understand impeccability, discipline, surrendering to actually acting in the way that is aligned, or creating actions. So not dropping the ball, being impeccable. What is the energy? Journey, exchange, transference, chamber of teleportation. So what you do for self, you do for counterpart. So feminines, that holds true for you. Masculines holding up their side of the energy, that holds true for them as well. And Knight of Cups, more self-love. So the key to doing the righteous action is self-love. If we don't love ourselves or we don't feel worthy, in those choice moments, we don't make the righteous choice. We cave, we go into weak energy, we rebel. And so these masculines are understanding this. I'm hearing bad choices beget bad responses. So yeah, they're realizing when they love themselves, they do better. They believe in it. What can we see for the direction in the near future? More Hierophant and Princess of Wands. So this is prayer. Princess of Wands to me is the one that goes to the altar, puts down the burden, and consciously asks for divine guidance. And then we get the Hierophant in the channeling position, bringing this through. All of 2024, I saw messages of the masculines evoking this channeling ability and the prayer ability. And now we see this active feedback loop of intending prayer and receiving answers. So this is living in grace. I'm getting goosebumps, everybody. This is the key. We can't do it through ego. We can't do it through will. We have to run our awareness through love in order to stay in alignment. We can't do our best and hope for the best. We have to consider with awareness and discipline and righteousness each thought, each action, as a consistent way of life. Consistency is the operative word. Okay, bliss, aspiration, and realization. So it is that simple. If we act as if we are in alignment in our highest timelines with bliss, that's how we realize that state, frequency of living. If we cut corners, drop the ball, don't always, it's one action, one thought at a time. And with enough practice, discipline, we do begin to resonate consistently at a high frequency. Jesus says it's taking every thought captive. So this is the way. This is living in grace. We cannot have two divine beings in divine relationship if we don't have mastery. I don't believe that it's allowed to come together. It repels off of each other if we don't have alignment. But I'm seeing alignment here. And here's that Six of Wands again. So this is the public approach. This is the declaration of love. This is the promise. Again, the Six of Wands is in this developmental stage, becoming the person that we and they would want to be in relationship with. So it's not so much to say, I want a person that is upstanding, righteous, trustworthy, love-filled. We have to be that when no one's looking. And it feels like these masculines are cultivating that discipline and that connection to source to refine themselves in that way. So feminines, if you're cutting corners or, acting out or dropping the ball, this is your chance to come into alignment and not spread your energy too thin. That's what these journeys are about. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.